Russia responds to critics. USWNT advance on penalty kicks. BMX freestyle on SaturdayKyle Dake's mind is set on wrestling for gold in Tokyo for Mariah Duran. Skateboarding is an outlet to express herself through clothing. Gwendolyn Berry sends love to U.S. teammate Sam Kendricks, who tested positive for COVID-19. Softball player Haley McClenny says she rode Nyjah Huston's skateboard. What are the twisties? How do gymnasts like Simone Biles deal with them? What Jalen Green brings to the Rockets as number 2 pick in the NBA draft. Sunisa Lee's family and friends celebrate the American gymnast's Olympic gold win. What Cade Cunningham brings to the Pistons as number 1 overall draft pick after winning all-around gold. Sunisa Lee didn't think she would ever get here. American stars who will dominate the first week of the Olympics. What Joey Gallo brings to the Yankees. U.S. Olympic sprinter Noah Lyles is at the top of his game. On and off the track, fellow Team USA athletes show support for gymnast Simone Biles and mental health struggles. Aaron Rodgers on relationship with Packers. Had to assess the situation. Are 13-year-old Olympic medal winners alone in Summer Games history? Brighton Zeuner wasn't surprised. At 17, Zeuner is a bit of an old bird in the Olympic field for women's park skateboarding. She's the number 12 female skateboarder internationally in her discipline, but her biggest competition in Tokyo makes her seem a little old. Top-ranked Misagu Okamoto is 15, Great Britain's Sky Brown is 13 and Japan's Kokona Hiraki is 12. Sometimes when I hang out with Sky and skate with her, I feel kind of old, Zeuner said. Hanging out with her and skating with her is great, and she reminds me of how I was when I was little. But it's weird thinking of myself as an oldie. I think I still have a few years. She should have more than a few years if she follows Tony Hawk, who at 53 years old recently posted some effortless-looking runs in Ariake Urban Sports Park. While getting to Hawk's level of success could be difficult, Zeuner has already made a name for herself in skateboarding. When Brighton and her family moved to Encinitas, California, her parents built her and brother, Jackson, an 80s-style vert ramp in their backyard. The extra practice time helped her become a successful skateboarder before her age hit double digits, and then she caught the competition bug. Zeuner became the youngest female athlete to ever compete at the X Games at the age of 11. Then she became the first ever Vans Park Series world champion. She followed that up by becoming the youngest gold medalist of all time in the X Games, one day after her 13th birthday. Meet Team USA United States. How did Zeuner become one of the best skateboarders in the world? You just have to love it. Surround yourself with good people, the type of people that made me push myself and want to be a better skater. And also, just have fun. Do it for a good reason and know why you want to do it. For swimmers, gymnasts, track athletes, the Olympics are the pinnacle, the end goal of a lifetime's worth of work. That hasn't been the case for skateboarders. This is the inaugural year skateboarding has been an Olympic event, and Zeuner didn't grow up training to compete in the games. She worked to perfect her style, picked up deals with Red Bull and Vans, and then skateboarding was scheduled to debut in Tokyo weeks after her 16th birthday. But as any skateboarder would know, things don't always go according to plan. These games are nothing like what Zeuner imagined, but then again, she never thought skateboarding would make the cut for Olympic events, and the past year has been anything but ordinary. Brighton tore the main ligament in her ankle during a qualifier in China and spent nearly 4 months rehabbing to get back into shape for the Olympics. Then the pandemic hit and pushed the games back a year. She made the United States team alongside best friend and fellow teenager Bryce Wettstein, but COVID threw another wrench in Zeuner's Olympic debut. When she first drops in at Ariake Urban Sports Park, she'll be alone. The stands will be relatively empty and there will be no coach waiting for her on the sidelines. Even her dad, Brandon, who has never missed any of his daughter's competitions, will be thousands of miles away, forced to watch her compete on television because of the coronavirus restrictions. I'm really upset that my dad isn't going to be able to come, Zeuner said. I've never skated a contest without my dad on deck supporting me. He's sacrificed so much for me to have this happen, and it'll be weird not having him there. I get really nervous and don't think I'm going to be able to perform well without him. Sending her teenage daughter to the other side of the globe has been the most difficult part of this process for Bridget Zeuner, Brighton's mom. She'll go out, but she probably won't perform like she does, with her not having her dad for the first time in her entire life, Bridget said. I think she's happy to be showing up and being a part of history, being part of that first group that's worked so hard for this, who never took it for granted. As a parent, you send your kid off on school trips alone? I just wish it wasn't the Olympics. Bridget remembers like it was yesterday how Brighton started skateboarding. Her daughter would tag along to the parks with her brother and dad, doing what little sisters do. Climb trees, hunt ladybugs, play around in the dirt. She was already doing softball and dance, but when she started playing around with Jackson's decks, those sports were left in the rearview. But a professional career and an Olympic appearance was never something that Bridget imagined for her daughter. Being signed on a global level was amazing to see, like wow, you value what she does and brings to the table that you would pay her like a grown-up, Bridget said. Then we heard about the Olympics and we were pretty astounded, and it was a trip to know that she could be in it. But this was just all accidental. Brighton will make history when she drops in during the Women's Park debut on August 4th in Tokyo. She doesn't think she'll medal, but anything can happen in the games. For Brighton, competing in the games is about more than just winning or losing. It's about showcasing the sport that gave her a space to be herself, and she wants other girls to experience the same thing. I think a lot of these young girls are really motivated and, the competition, are all teenagers now, Brighton said. It's going to inspire a lot of young girls to want to skate because they see that they can do that too. She'll return home after about a week in Tokyo. With the Olympics checked off a pretty lofty bucket list for a teenager, Brighton already has her sights set on the next goal. No, I have not had the time to get my driver's license, she said. I'm getting a Texas license, but I've been in California skating as much as I can. After the Olympics, that's definitely mandatory.